creating a truly effective marketing plan. Whether you're a solopreneur, publicly traded company, or nonprofit, over my 35 years of experience, this is something I've seen people mess up just about more than anything else. And today, I'm going to go through and I'll tell you the 5 specific things that you need to keep in mind. As entrepreneurs and business owners, we know that if we have a clear plan, anything becomes possible. And if you can have a clear plan, a clear process to create that plan, and a way to create clarity with your partner or spouse, you can drive to amazing heights. All right, so I started my first of 16 company when I was 19, a long time ago. I've helped hundreds and hundreds around the world, and one of the consistent things I see over and over and over and over again is people completely mangle their marketing. And they don't know where it goes, and most people are more annoyed by it, so they just keep throwing money at it, hoping that it works. Well, I gotta tell you, hope is a crappy strategy. So today, we're gonna talk about the 5 key things that really drive success when it comes to creating a marketing plan. When you have a great marketing strategy helps define the outcomes you're looking at, and then a plan helps you define the process you're going to do to achieve that strategy and obtain those outcomes. That's important. So the first thing you need to do is build an avatar. Now, an avatar can be super simple, but think about who are your current ideal clients. Now, if you don't have any, or maybe you have clients but you don't like them, start thinking about who it is you want to work with. And the 3 areas in that specific spot are the demographic, the geographic, and the psychographic. The demographic is going to be the who. Who are these people? What are their titles? What are their ages? If you can get down to gender, but even get down to ethnicities, it's going to help you clarify who you're trying to get in front of. This is something that the big marketing organizations and publicly traded companies, a lot of them are pretty good at when they're doing their branding. They're making those things for very specific demographics. You know, if you're, Mountain Dew or different cereals or things like that, those types of things are very specific on who they're going after. Excuse me, you need to do the same thing. For me, ideally, I like to work with private equity companies. So that's the company, but the actual demographic is usually the decision maker, either the principal if it's a smaller private equity group or VC group, or it could be the operating partner who knows that they're in trouble. So first off we want to find out who those people are, the demographic. The second is going to be the geographic. Geographic comes down to where are they geographically located. If you're in a smaller group or a smaller business, or maybe you're a B2C type of thing, you may say, hey, this is my location plus 30 miles, or my location plus 200 miles. You may end up saying, well, regulatory-wise, we're happy to work within this area. Maybe it comes down to time zones and the efficiencies of what you can do. However it is, that's going to work just fine, but make sure that you start to clarify who those people are, the demographic, and then once you know who they are, great, where are they, the geographic, and then lastly, and this is the one that's a little dicey, is the psychographic. The psychographic is what is it they really value? And start thinking about what are those things that people have valued and appreciated with you in the past. Now, when you think about that, if you're having a hard time, talk to your existing customers and say, what is it you love? What is it you appreciate? What is it you value? And these things can come down to, well, I trust, or you're ultra consistent, or you're not the cheapest, but you do it right. They're actually helping write your script when you start asking those questions. But the first is really define what a great avatar is. Now, the second then is with this avatar, you want to go through and define what their pain point is, not what you do. This may be the biggest mistake that most people do. People want to do all their features and benefits. Whoever came up with the idea of selling features and benefits is just an idiot. Features and benefits may be important, but not when you're trying to get started. You need to define what is the painful itch they have right now. If they have a rash and you have a cream, they don't care what's in it if it solves the problem. So if you can figure out what is the exact pain point they're trying to solve in their language, in their words, and be really curious, and this is where maybe making interviews, ask questions, things along those lines. For me, I can tell people all sorts of different things that I do. What I do with trust, what I do with leadership, what I do with development, things like that. But realistically, they want to know, are you going to help me change my mindset? And am I going to make more money? Ultimately, I'm going to make more money. That's what a private equity firm is looking for. What is the ROI? If I give you something, am I going to get more back? So once you just define the pain point, well, now you've defined who you're working with. Now you're also figuring out what their pain point is. The next thing is going to be to craft your message. And when we talk about crafting a message, I love stealing the quote from Mark Twain that says, "I'm sorry this letter's so long. I didn't have time to write a short one." When it comes time to crafting your message, invest the time to craft a really short, as simple as you can message. So you think about some of the big key, advertising campaigns that have been put out in the world, and some of them are, Nike, do it. It's pretty simple, ultra simple. I guarantee there were hundreds of hours for them to come down and figure out what that is. But figure out what is the pain point. So for me, it's maximize IRR. That's it. If somebody's got a company that's struggling, they're dragging down, they're lost, or it depends on who I'm talking to, but it's maximize IRR. It's to become the leader you know you can. But it's simple messaging. Now, simple does not mean easy. So once you figure out the avatar, A, B, figure out what's the pain point they're stuck with, and then C, come up with a very, very simple, clear, but very, very short, if you can make it that way, craft that message. And then lastly, steal from the Baptist preachers. I'm not Baptist, I'm not a preacher, but I love the idea that Baptist preachers are pretty well known for telling you what they're going to tell you, then they tell you, then they tell you what they told you. Once you understand, you start understanding, you connect with somebody and say, look, I understand because this is your pain point. And every time you do that, be like, yeah, I don't want to talk about my rash. Yeah. If you have that rash and that itch and it's driving you nuts, I got the cure. I'm going to do this and you're going to feel better. But repeat it over and over and over and over in whatever platforms, in whatever media, in whatever sources you can to talk to those people. Now, I know this sounds completely silly, but it's these 5 very basic steps can outline the beginnings of what a good strategic engagement looks like, and then you build a plan around this on how you're going to implement each of these steps. So ideally you found some value with this. If you did, cool. Feel free to reach out to us. I look forward to hearing from you. Keep smiling.